everyone, Professor Elam here. This week we are going to be covering chapter 10 and 11. So I just wanted to go through something with you really quick and do a mini lecture about gathering information. So we talk a lot about what we're going to be discussing this week is gathering information for proposals and formal reports. And so now, of course, you can gather information from books, but most likely you're going to be gathering the information through the computer. And the search engine you're most likely going to use is going to be Google. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about evaluating the credibility of internet resources, whichever search engine you decide to use. You've got to understand that just because it's on the internet does not make it a credible source. So some of the things that you want to look for is you want to look for, when you Google something, you want to look for the date of the article. How recent was the article? And when was the website last updated? So you want to make sure that there's not anything that's out of date. Because when you put in the information that you're searching for, you're going to get all types of responses. So you need to make sure that you are using a credible resource that's recent. It's been updated, the information's been updated. You also want to look at who published the article or the information. What type of authority do they have? Are they a good source? Who publishes or sponsors the page, what makes the author an authority on this particular subject matter, and is there contact information available? If I wanted to get a hold of the publisher, is that contact information available? Or is it just an ad? So you want to make sure that you can differentiate between the two also. And you have to understand what is the purpose of the content. Is the purpose of the site to entertain? Is it to inform? Is it to persuade? Or is it to sell? And who exactly is the intended audience? And how does this content compare with content elsewhere that you viewed? So then you have to decide the accuracy. Do the facts that you've been reviewing, do they seem reliable? What's the source? How new is that source? Who in particular wrote the information? What type of credibility do they have? What are their credentials? What is their job title? What is their authority? And then you want to look at just little things like, did you find any errors in the spelling in the article? Was the grammar used correctly? Were the words used correctly? Can you detect any bias in that article? So those are some other things that you really want to look at. So that is when you are gathering information from a primary or a secondary source. And remember, a secondary source is anything that's already been written on that particular subject matter. So you're not utilizing a primary source where you are going out and getting the information yourself, you're doing the research yourself. Most of the time you are getting it from secondary information, and most likely that secondary information is coming from the internet. So you want to make sure that you properly screen that information. Anyways, just wanted to clarify some things from that chapter for you. I am here if you have any questions, and everyone keep up the great work.